All right, everyone, Supreme Kami over here, and it is time to go over another, exchangeable welfare unit over here. So this time around, we are going to be covering the Rozen Zulu over here. So I just want to sign up if anyone is wondering where is the Gia Daga's Rozen Snyder's one over here, like in terms of the review for it. I have actually done it last month already because I think it came out last month as a revive. So I was back then. I believe we still have the old system where we were doing like the treasure missions and all that. So if you guys are wondering where that review is, I'll have it in the link in the description below. And going back to this one over here, Rozen Zulu over here. So we only have 3 or 6 parts over here. So 3 being EXQ, 3 being part with portraits over here. So actually, this Rozen Zulu is actually quite a fun one to be looking at because the backpack is one of those stun type EXQ that is actually quite fun to use. Like just being able to stun your enemy with this type of EXQ or just any EXQ in general is kind of fun, and then how it's actually interact with it. So this one is cool. So this one is like definitely something for this one specifically, you don't really need to max it out to portrait level or EXQ level 10, for example, because I don't think there's actually like a timing differences if you have this at base level 1 or even base EXQ level 10, for example. So this one, simply get 1 copy of it and then you guys should be pretty much good to go. So this one's going to be the psychic gem over here, so pretty much going to immobilize your enemy for like a set period of time. So we will definitely try that out in a bit as well. So this is definitely something I recommend for sure. In terms of the other 2 EXQ, I really have not used it originally, so I can't really say too much. So I'm definitely gonna give my thoughts and opinion as I do use it real quick in a multi-mission match over here. So this one is gonna be the Mega Particle Cannon Income over here. So this one starting out is already great. So this one is getting that B plus power already, which is kind of good already. So I assume this one getting up to EXQ level 10 and then alterating it should still stay at B plus power, I assume. So I wouldn't really see like a big differences in terms of damage output, but we'll definitely try it out in a comparison later on as well. And the last but not least, we have the shield. So this one is going to be the triple barrel mega particle cannon over here. So this one is definitely something I urge you guys to alterate because just starting out right now, only looking at an A minus piercing, and D power is definitely not the hottest. So with a proper alteration, you guys should see a better output for sure. So base level 1 B piercing and D power, yeah, that looks pretty bad. So let me hop into the alteration tab real quick, just trying to see what we have in terms of the other portraits over here. I really have not really remember what they are exactly, so that's why we are going to take a look. Okay, so Rozen Zulu over here. So let's see what the head portrait does for us over here. So it's actually not even that good for the second portrait after alteration. So with tech attribute self, you're getting a boost funnel time up by 50%. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that because you can pretty much solve this problem if you run this to like a 100% cooldown reduction type build. You can pretty much just ignore that, increasing your funnel uptime and all that. So yeah, I don't really see a point in actually even farming up portrait level 10 for this head part over here. So yeah, this is definitely not it for sure. All right, moving over to the torso area over here. Torso is okay. I'll definitely take that. So this one does actually give you one of those revive 50% ones over here. So that's pretty cool. This one does kind of lock you out to only using it as a owl fighter. So this one is definitely make a good sub slot option right there. If you guys still want a revival mechanics over here, so it's definitely not. There's definitely no right or wrong for your revival tree over here if you're someone that runs it for like a fun build for like PvE content or like friend battle. I think it does make a very good exception. So this one could be something that you guys might want to farm out to portrait level 10 regardless. Alright, moving over to the last part, which is going to be the leg that has the portrait. So how are we looking at afterwards? So wow, this is okay. Yeah, this by far is probably one of the worst portrait I have ever seen. A double shooting crit rate up by a 17% and a 30%. Yeah, nope, sorry, but this portrait is completely useless. So yeah, kind of unfortunate. So okay, what about, I'm just gonna go back to the other EX skill. So this one receiving a B power. Even after maxing out a portrait level 10 or EX level 10, we're still sitting at B power, so it's not too bad. Backpack wise over here, there's not gonna be any increase whatsoever. Simply just gonna be that. What about this one? Did I see the what is it? The other additional effects? Let me see. Oh, that's actually pretty good. If you do alterate it and have your EX skill level 10, you can definitely get an increase in terms of lowering your enemies' defense, melee defense. So that's could be kind of good actually. Bumping up to 9% from EX skill 1 to EX skill 10. Okay. I definitely take that for sure. You know, having a little bit of a caveat right there definitely makes the intrigue option right there. So not bad. This one over here. Oh, okay. This one getting a piercing increase is actually pretty huge. Okay. Yeah, that's why I feel like this batch of warfare alteration, reruns of it is actually quite fun. The other one that we covered it 2 days ago, that one's pretty good. This one is being fairly good in terms of EX skill as well. Yeah, so definitely loving this batch of rerun for sure. So I'm gonna show you guys a quick model of this this overall unit real quick. So in terms of Rozen Zulu, this is what it will be looking like. So it's a very bulky looking one. So you guys can see in terms of some of the patterns of the overall design, this kind of resemble like an actual rose, with like the actual the bits at the back or like the funnel. Definitely a huge resemblance to that as well. So that is pretty much it in terms of the actual model itself. So that is pretty much all the parts that we have equipped already. So I'm gonna hop into a quick multi-mission match over here, and then gonna show you guys all these EXP over here. So I think they are actually pretty fun, especially I feel like this one could make a very powerful addition after having it all traded. But this one is going to be a prototype, so we'll definitely see how it functions, how many hits we're getting in, and like what I'm pretty sure in terms of the actual timer duration is still going to be like a 20-second if I recall from testing out those multiple prototype EXU. This one should be a very fun one to be looking at. Just a very I don't know, there's like a kind of like a stunning EXQ that is just gonna prolong some gameplay, so definitely really good. This one over here, triple barrel, I have not really used this one all too much, so definitely gonna read a little bit once again to see what kind of animation we're looking at. So without any further ado, gonna put this onto my 100% shot-based cooldown reduction type build, and gonna try it out in some of the multi-mission and see how it performs. Alright, so we are in the multi-mission matchup here. So first thing, I want to use maybe the mega particle. Oh, so this is, whoa, what is that? What is that? So okay, I see that I'm actually taking damage, so there's not any iframe. So you can say roughly about 4 to 6 shots, which is actually not that good. In terms of the triple barrel, let's see how this one looks. Oh, okay, that looks pretty generic in a way. This is gonna be like a triple beam attack right there, so it's not that bad. Like, how many shots are we doing right there? 3. It's only 3 shots. That's not good, I guess. I don't know, but in terms of the range, looks pretty good. So now let me try the actual kind of like stunning EXQ. So this one literally is like exactly from the actual anime where it actually just stuns your opponent. So it creates like a kind of like a, what kind of shape would that even be? Like a, I don't even know what kind of shape that is, but yeah, that is generally how it looks like. So we'll actually test it out as so it's stunned right there, but we'll actually test it out as there's like, let's say like a moving enemy. Just want to see how that would look like. So in terms of if you have like a movable enemy over here, it would definitely be a little. Can I target the one that's like literally in front of me? Like, I say this so many times already. Like in terms of like the actual control of this game is so bad. Like, yeah, it just like the one like the targeting enemy kind of stuff is so bad. I don't know how. Like, I wish they could improve on this. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I don't know, man. Wow, this thing actually has some pretty insane range. I'll tell you that for sure. Okay, yeah, you guys can see where the beam kind of ends right there. So it's not bad. Range-wise, is definitely respectable. What should be like literally the same thing as any of the other beam attacks and all that. So what about this one? Can we actually hit from here? Or no, I can't even see that. Like the camera angle is so weird in this one. Nope, unfortunate. But what about this one, the sidekick jammer? Is it gonna reach that far? Oh, it is. Wow, that's clean. That is definitely very clean indeed. So And this takes a little bit to reach your target, and then in terms of like actually like the formation of the actual barrier, this takes a little bit. So we do have some movable enemy over here, so let's see how they function. So I'm gonna target that one right there. So how is it gonna work? Oh yeah, that's gonna be one of your flaws in this EXQ over here. So actual movable enemy, this is not really gonna keep it in place, so no. Yeah, that's pretty much like a kind of like a unfortunate of this EXQ. If your enemy just move a little bit faster than the velocity, do I want to say the velocity of the EXQ? I guess so, right? In terms of like the funnel, it's not gonna reach it, so they had to be kind of like near the same, like the same distance-ish area, then it will connect. So even slightly a little bit will get connected. But other than that, this EXQ is like a fun one, I would have to say. If you have like doing like a friend battle, for example, namely friend battle, I would say is a kind of like a funny combo. And then if you're looking at, let's say, big boss, I don't think any of the other multi-mission boss, I think except the Perfect Strike Gundam, only that one is able to kind of maybe stun it with a little bit of a kind of like on like a good luck, for example, because the Perfect Strike does move a lot. So the only phase that you can actually kind of stun him is like when he's actually charging up his Igni, beam cannon. But other than that, up next we will be doing some, EXQ damage comparison with it at, base EXQ level 10, pre-alteration, and then post-alteration to see what kind of output difference we can get. Alright guys, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the Rozen Zulu's EXQ testing and then review for it. In terms of the ARM EXQ, the camera angle is just not having it with me. Even doing it side by side, I'm pretty sure you guys won't be able to tell really much the differences, but I would definitely tell you guys that the EXQ power wise is definitely going to be having increase if you do alterate it. And in terms of the shield wise over here, the damage output prior to alteration and then after alteration, we can definitely see a jump roughly about 3 times to a 3.5 times over here. So that is definitely something that is much more of a needed for alteration. But other than that, that is pretty much going to be it. In terms of the backpack EXQ, the stunning property just not really there either. Your enemy does have to be either not moving or moving very slow in order for to have the funnel to actually kind of engage directly into that space. But other than that, that is going to be pretty much it. So do let me know which one of the parts that you are maxing out in terms of EXQ. And then yeah, so that being said, that's going to be it. And then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.